Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, it's Regit, and it's been a very long time since the beginner account, at least for me. It's actually been several months since I ended recording Series 2, and now, finally, I've started recording Series 3. You join me within the challenge battle, which, at this present moment, is actually no more. I've just forgotten to update Battle Cats on this device for a long time, so I thought it would be nice to cherish the end of the challenge battle as we know it by starting off in this, and then moving on to the very important things that we'll be doing in this series. Now, because it's been so long since I recorded the other ones, I'm probably going to give quite a lot of the same tips again, just because I can't remember what tips I actually gave. But one thing that I can be sure of is that we're going to be doing a lot of important things this series. Chapter 3 has within it, well, firstly we got opportunity to upgrade things, which is what we're going to be doing today. And then at the end of Chapter 3 is, of course, the infamous enemy, Mr. Bun Bun himself. And that will allow us to move into many different places by having a cat, which is really going to help us. In fact, we've unlocked a cat that's really going to help us now, but I'll talk about that in a probably next episode. But for now, I think we shall bid goodbye to the challenge battle and move on into what we're doing. So this is Empire of Cats Chapter 3, which we have unlocked because, well, we'd finished Chapter 2 last time, defeating Dark Emperor Nyandam. And the bonus item at the end of this chapter is Bahamut Cat, a staple cat throughout the whole game. Admittedly, and into the future, you get a true form of it. But throughout the game, even this form is actually very useful in late on levels. And once you want to progress in things like Stories of Legend and the later story mode, it's a very, very useful cat to have. So we will definitely be working towards getting this because, well, it's integral for the game. It's just a very important cat to have. So in the battle menu, because the first stages are going to be quite nondescript and I wanted to get me some treasure in advance, I have got superior treasure in the first 4 stages because, well, they're not really that interesting. They're quite easy whatever level cats you have, and I want to see the benefit of having higher level cats by doing harder levels. Luckily there's a treasure festival on, which I didn't time, so that's quite good. So we're going to take full advantage of that, but that is after we upgrade our cats. You may have a look at my XP and think, how on earth does he have nearly 5 million? That is from continually doing story mode stages to get superior treasure in them. A lot of them have taken a long time to do, repeating them over and over again. And even though the amount of XP they give decreases, you still get quite a lot from it. So there should be plenty enough to upgrade the cats as much as I need to. So to refresh our memories, we used to have a level cap of level 10 for our cats. Now, after having completed Chapter 2, we can double that and go up to level 20. And that's maths, which I'm genuinely surprised I managed to get right. So there's a little pat on the back. Well done, Regit. But yes, all of these basic cats can now have even more levels. And that goes for these as well. The only exception is Cat Cannon Range. That never goes above level 10, whatever stage of the game you're in. Even Chilola cannot upgrade his Cat Cannon Range past level 10. At least at the moment. But all this stuff, we can upgrade it. And that is going to be very useful, including raising our energy cap, so we can do even more levels. So I think, to really show all the upgrading, it would be quite boring to just do it continually while speaking. So, a montage is probably at hand. So that has been a lot of upgrades. That's actually eaten away at a lot of my XP. I've got less than 2.5 million now. But look at all these. They're so high level. I'm keeping my Cat Cannon power at level 1. That's something that I've decided to do this series because it increases recharge time. So I'm hoping that this way I'll have a Battle Cats account where I can use the Cat Cannon more often. It may be less powerful, but I've always used it to knock enemies back. So I think it might serve an additional functionality in this way. although I can't be sure yet because we're at a sort of early stage in the game. But level 20 is the maximum level that you can upgrade these to with XP. The rest of the levels, up to at the moment the max of plus 70, is by cat capsules, which is a slow upgrade method, but all the XP upgrading of these we have done. What we have left to do is in special cats. I'm not going to acquire God Cat because we cost cat food to use, and I don't really feel like doing this at the moment. Now, I was having a conversation with some of the people who can actually play high-level battle cats well, and they said that doing things no gacha, which is what I'm planning to do here, becomes very difficult, especially for someone like me, at the end of Into the Future. Not the moon, it's actually a level just before it, I think. So we may end up having to use Cat God at that point for extra buffs, just so I don't have to use rare cats from the rare cat capsules. But for the moment, we'll sort of ignore him. So you chill there, Cat God. Have a nice time and sort of eat away at someone else's cat food. We also have these, which I might well be buying in another episode, because the limits that we have on what cats we can use, these actually are going to be very useful as substitutes to very important rare cats that you'd want to use on levels like the moon. But these cats, although probably won't be using them that much, are ripe for the upgrading. I'm very happy to do this because it adds to our user rank, and as I believe I've said, user rank is incredibly important. Now, I don't remember when I got Cat Bros. I've got it, so that's great. It was in an event, which means I won't be using it, much like Cramp Cats. But yeah, upgrading it, I'm not going to say no. That's a bit of free user rank, and I all love a bit of that. So there we go. And then, of course, Bruh Cats. Upgrade them all the way to level 20. Cooldown Cat. Do that all the way to level 20. Little Wall Cat. This is dragging on a bit. I should have done this in time-lapse as well. I didn't even upgrade that one properly. Yeah, there's a lot of upgrading to do. And as it turns out, I'm probably not going to have enough XP. I'm not. I was saying about how I had loads, but I've genuinely run out of XP. So it's a good time to try and get more. But we've got a lot of our cats upgraded, and that has left our user rank at a staggering 618, which is great. Can you stop trying to sell me things, please? Stop! Stop, please! Right. Okay. 618 user rank. A very useful user rank, but I don't know what it actually means. I can press the points, which are here, to check, but that would mean picking up the user rank reward. And that also refills your energy, so that's something that I want to reserve for when I really need energy. But if I find it, there's a chart of user rank rewards. Hopefully, if I remember to as my future self, I'll edit that in so we can see what we can get out of it. So I think we should waste no more time with this treasure festival and go straight into Cambodia. We've got newly upgraded cats. We've got 460 energy now because of the upgraded energy cap. So yeah, attack and into Cambodia with our new high-level cats. Ish we go. Now, there's something you might notice, and that's that everything is incredibly expensive. And that's because in Chapter 3, and Chapter 3 Empire of Cats alone, things are more expensive. You may remember in Chapter 1, things were cheaper. Chapter 2 is the normal price that's in the Stories of Legends and actually in all of Into the Future. But Chapter 3 has stuff more expensive. So our cat spam units, our macho cat and our wall cat, are actually 100 monies and 200 monies. And things get very expensive all the way up to Mythical Titan, which is 2,600 monies. Even something like UFO Cat, 1,300. Quite a lot, bearing in mind it has a short recharge time, so the fact that we've upgraded our work cat in that upgrading spree is very useful. We're now going to get our monies a lot faster, which is brilliant, because that's a very important part of progressing through these levels, because we can have all the cats we want at any level, but if we can't afford them, we can't deploy them, and then we can't win. And that's bad. Welcome to the Philippines. A wonderful place, but with a Doge and Snatch infestation. Yeah, I'm sort of making stuff up here while I build up my amazingly newly upgraded worker cat. Yes, I'm in the next level after a jump cut. I've actually edited all the stuff that came before this because, well, I ate my dinner and then I got bored. But in any case, that does mean that the Treasure Festival is over, and that sort of segues into a strange piece of advice. Don't do what I did, although, you know, if there is dinner, eat it. Food is good. But treasure festivals are a very useful opportunity for getting the treasure that you want. I mean, that's probably quite self-obvious. But in the same way, it's a kind of double-edged sword, because if you want loads of XP, it's still a good way to get XP. And I mean, even in that treasure festival, I didn't actually get any treasure in the last level, so not particularly useful. I won't have it for this level, but there you go. Always try and take advantage of them, but then if you don't get the treasure, you can always get the XP from doing the stages. Either way, it's going to benefit you, and you need all your treasures anyway, so yeah. Another thing, which I didn't do, but you should do, always upgrade your cats as much as you can, because of course, the more upgraded your cats are, the easier these levels are going to be, the quicker you're going to do them, the quicker, unless probability's being particularly horrible, which it is, because it's maths, the quicker that you'll get all your treasures. Attack Hanamura. I'm playing too much Overwatch. Now, I could go on for quite a while doing these levels, but it would be much the same thing. I will be covering something very important next episode, however, and that is our legend cat that we got from defeating Chapter 2 Moon, Valkyrie cat, and in what places she's going to be useful. She's going to be very useful progressing on through Stories of Legend levels as things get more and more difficult, because she's basically a kind of cat that we haven't had up until this point. So she's going to prove very useful indeed. But I will finish off Japan, I will attack the objective and win, and then that's probably going to be about it. There's not really much further I can go past spending all the XP that I had on getting cats. Our cats are now much higher level, and that's going to suit us a lot better because we're spending more on them. We want them, you know, to be more worth what we're spending, because they are going to get pretty expensive from this point on. There's no point beating about the bush about that one. I mean, it's not a massively dangerous topic, but if you don't have very high level cats, spending 1,600 monies on a whale cat can get pretty costly if it doesn't really do much. I did say about stages, you know, being the same sort of thing, but I didn't think about outbreaks. Now, currently in Empire Cats Chapter 2, the outbreaks, they were too difficult for my level 10 cats. Chapter 1, I could probably most of the time just about do them. Chapter 2, only sort of very easy ones, as you can see, Australia. Maldives might not prove it as much because it's not very far on, but having these high level cats should make the outbreak a lot easier. So that's the final thing that I'm going to try today, instead of leaving you on doing a level as easily as I've done all of the other ones, because it's not very interesting. So now we are into an infected, misty zombie land. And what is here? It is a Zoj, and a Zrocco, and a Zach, I think it is. I can't keep track of these zombie names. They're both spooky and complicated to remember. The Battle Cat's naming system has got rather saturated recently with new arrivals. And the thing with zombies, I have gone over outbreaks at the start of Series 2, but they're pretty tricky. Like, I still don't understand how best to deal with them, because you go past them, they come back, they mess up the order of things. But with tankier cats, what we'll hopefully be able to do is get to the base, do a solid amount of damage, and even though the zombies may come further back up to our ranks, we should be able to move forward and go in front of them and destroy the base pretty easily. Now these cats are cheaper, as you can see, because it's Empire Cats Chapter 2, which again will make our job easier, but now it's a Siege with a skeleton on its head, so it's important to cat spam, keep out lots of units. As I believe I've said, the UFO cat is incredibly good against zombies. I don't actually know why, it just seems to be. But yeah, there's not much more to it. That was definitely a lot easier than with level 10 cats. And for good reason. They're level 20. So on that note, I don't really have much more to say. If there's one thing that you're going to take away from this episode, it's upgrade your cats. And always remember that user rank's very important. That's something that we're going to need the further that we go on in this game. And now because of our user rank, we can send Gamatoto to Facility 999. So there's a thing that I couldn't do before. And now, off you pop, Gamatoto. Please go and get me something better than what I keep getting on the main account, which is about 2 XP. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed.